napisz... Ile by przed każdą walką zapisać, bo za wygranie całej areny bez żadnej przegranej dostaje się nagrodę. A tam jedną walkę na 100% można przegrać.
Intolerable. One more mistake, Hui, and I'll have you retired. Finding someone else is your problem. But enough. Find a solution and leave me alone.
This is not an appropriate time to... Wait a moment. You have the look of a fighter about you. Those hands, that stance, even your eyes. I'd know that look anywhere. You must be here to join the most glorious contest in the Empire. Isn't it fortunate that Lucky Cho and I were just discussing how this place needs an...
Może powinien sobie też taką prótkę zrobić.
Master Li used to say that the arena was once the greatest contest in the Empire, but that it has been corrupted in recent years.
Come with me a moment.
Tak, dziwnie mówi.
In some dissertation about the best decision you'll ever make.
No i wczoraj może go ciężko zrozumieć.
This is turning out to be an excellent day, most ostentatious indeed. I apologize if I'm using words beyond your grasp. Very few people can match either the supply or the command of my language. Strong build, good shoulders, not half bad looking either. You've got what it takes to make it in today's arena. The question is, can you fight? Are you worthy of the arena? I say the answer is a clarion and resounding yes. Some might be suspicious of one seen publicly consorting with the Lotus Assassins, but I have no such qualms. You're as welcome here as the Emperor himself. What say we get you signed up for the greatest attraction in all the Empire? The arena awaits. That's the spirit of the thing. Now, what name precedes you in your travels?
Zielony kogo. Wybaczcie na chwilę. Już jestem.
Right, a fine name indeed. But it won't sell, not at all. We need something more memorable for the crowds. Think of something that would sound engaging, ringing down from the rafters. That's how we'll bill you.
No cóż. Wściekły smok. Skoro jestem czerwony Feniks, to równie dobrze mógł być srebrnym. Tygrys gór.
Silver Phoenix. Silver Phoenix. Conjures up quite an image. Are you certain? Then that is what you shall have. Come and tell me when you're ready for a fight and I'll get you started. Since you're new, you'll start in the qualifying rounds. The money's small at that level, but it's there. Any other questions? One other thing, you should talk to the other fighters now and then. They will be watching you, and you should get to know them as well.
We're all one big happy family.
You're a big, happy idiot, hon.
As you can see, they always have something to say. For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty ogre. I'll be watching your style closely to see how you fare. Impress me, and I'll take you to the top.
No.
Even our great champions start out against the ogre. Take Raging Ox, who danced around the beast singing drunkenly to earn the crowd's favor, or the Ravager, who defeated him in a single blow. I should take a moment and explain the system we use here. I like to keep things simple and organized. Any other way, and things get more convoluted than the celestial court on the Emperor's birthday. When you're ready for your match, ask me about it, and I'll give you a quick summary of your opponent. I'll be setting up your matches, of course. Various enchantments woven in this place keep the fights from being deadly, but they're no less real. You'll feel the pain if you don't keep your defense up. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A new warrior does battle with the beast. Longsword.
I po grze. Dobra, grupę kwalifikacyjną każdy powinien wygrać.
Impressive beginning. Normally I'd have started you off against something easier, but you practically ooze potential. You've caught the eyes of the other fighters as well.
Go! That really was a fantastic bout!
Beating the ogre's nothing special. I could have done better bound and blinded.
Sometimes you don't even need to ask.
Widać.
One fight does not make a champion, though. There are many more opponents ahead of you. Let's move on, shall we? Be sure to return when you're ready to continue.
Kurde. Nienawidzę tego błędu. No.
The brothers Sung greet our fellow combatant warmly. I am Sung Bo, this is my little brother Boo, and my older brother Sui.
Do not bother me. Introductions merely clutter
Sui.
the mind.
I don't think they was
Bo.
bothering you, Sweet. It's Bo being talked to.
Do not worry too much about us, though. There are many fights between you and the Sung brothers, but we shall humor your questions. You'll only deal with the lower ranks at this point. Bother us about fighters when you advance to a Oh yes, we shall see.
Fascinating. How very interesting to meet you. Fate may have robbed me of my sight at a young age, but I can still sense the energy within your meridians. Impressive, and yet somewhat strange. I don't know what it is about you exactly, but I would say you have been trained like no other warrior in this place. What I do know is that several of the techniques pioneered by what we call the new schools would have astonishing effects on one with your energy. Allow me a formal introduction. I am Dr. An, acupuncturist.
Czyli wbija igły wielkości.
I think I've read a treatise of hers on the healing arts. It was one of the few we had in Two Rivers.
Wbija...
It was brilliant. It is an honor to meet you, ma'am.
Such a beautiful voice, and combined with a quick mind. I'd hold on to her if I were.
Tak. A akupunktura to mniej więcej właśnie wbijanie igieł wielkości twojej dłoni, w twoje całe ciało lub w plecy. Zależy.
Of course.
Tha'awir nis tu kuiruk. Ayer fun. Soir irwu nisir tintina yewir. Uksir watuafu ni yefroto usosawir. Uktatasir ni ryoki. Ukwiro ni sayir tatasi yeruyu, wo nawir siyir fu ni winyanakan. Wo sawayir noka ukrapro ni apawafa son siyir tuwirwo. Ukwiro ni sayir tatasi yeruyu, wo nawir siyir fu ni winyanakan. Tir nik puntuir, poir noka uk, sayir takitir noni. Uksir, wat tuafu, froetro soir fuarir nsonsi noka uk frotir noni. Uktatasir ni ryoki, ka sisayir na wurk awukategi. Onu yuirin yikan sun puiranuk pakuk, onu yusayir. Wo panaru wo sawir tatasi ni wasunir prawun, wo sawir kokonatoy. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na waf tatasi yeruk, kitir nonni ni kuyo ipiyir ta. Wono wir ifuir uk wasafno sisitu. Wawir ni sisir sisitu kun wono...
No niestety.
Wo...
My się przekonamy o tym na własnej skórze niedługo.
Hello there. I'm Han, though fans and, well, everyone else call me Hapless Han. It's not such a bad thing. Fighting in the lower divisions means I never run afoul of the Ravager. Our current champion has nearly killed his last two opponents.
Ouch.
See, I look on the bright side of things. Even if my losses make people call me hapless, are numbers really that important? In my mind, it's trying your best that counts. You know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. Things aren't exactly glamorous here in the qualifying round, are they? Now, what can I do for you? You have something on your mind? I'm happy to help. I'm sure you can find your way around, but I've been here all my life. I can tell you about the scholars, the common folk, and even a bit about the Emperor himself. Emperor Sun is a savior to the Empire. He created a never-ending supply of water for us. It's just too bad his daughter isn't a bit more respectful of tradition. Then again, her father has changed the way things are done, so I suppose that's to be expected. I agree, and I would never question the Emperor. He is a visionary leader. It's just that before, we could see where he was leading. Still, I see what you're saying. Look at the endless flow of water he brought to the Empire. It's new, and he changed the face of the palace to pour the water forth to the lands. The first change to the palace since the time of sagacious Qian, in fact. That's a good reason to break with tradition, and one we all understood. Hiding himself away, however, that's something no one understands, and that isn't right. All right. I'm happy to help. It's always good to know who's competing at the higher levels. You're looking to the future. I know a little about Soldier, if you want to hear my take on him. But we could also talk about Kana, if you're curious about her. My father is a smith of great renown, and he always wanted me to follow in his footsteps, but I couldn't. My blades would be brittle, and even simple ironwork would be clunky. Eventually, I had to leave home. My father is no longer my father. More precisely, I'm no longer a son in his eyes. I wasn't sure what to do after being cast from my home, but coming east to the city made sense. I was never properly trained. I've learned what I have from watching the fights here, practicing hard and staying focused. That's my story. One day I'll make it here, and my father will have to be proud of me. This is my chance to be someone great, and I'm sticking to it. He's one of the most experienced fighters here, but he's hardly a mentor. He's boastful, insulting, and a general pain. The fans love to hate him, though. He is an exceptional fighter. Years of military training will do that to you. He's currently the champion of Silver Division, which tells you something about his skills. That's all I can think of regarding Soldier. He keeps to himself most of the time.
You two sound like a pair of old crones talking about their neighbors. Everything you need to know about me is right.
Nie ma co grać z żołnierzem, on nic nie powie.
I really respect Kana. She's undefeated, did you know? Made it all the way to Bronze Division champion without a loss. I know she's from the prosperous East, but for an Easterner, she's very reserved. Easily the most disciplined of us all. She's going to teach her style to the first person who can best her in the arena. People have been really excited about that because her sword is so deadly.
No.
Right you are.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What? Since you held your own against the ogre brute last time, I'm going to try something exciting for the crowd. I've got 4 boys from some school west of the city who've been bothering me for some tougher matches. I'm giving you all of them at once. It'll wow the crowd and teach them a lesson at the same time. Remember to watch your sides and back. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Four students test their skills against one master.
Oj, żeś niewiniątek. Mówiłem, żeś niewiniątek.
Those boys won't be back anytime soon. Losing as a group to one opponent would shame a peasant, let alone a student of the martial arts. Be sure to return when you're ready to continue.
Tak, trzeba uważać, bo tutaj są dwie walki, znaczy 2 wyzwania na czas.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What?
Więc trzeba uważać, bo ci skopią dupy. Bo możesz przegrać i z czasem.
The crowd's starting to catch on to you. Have you noticed? People like you. And now I'm going to make sure they pay attention. I'm going to have a roughly hewn statue.
O, i to właśnie jedno z tych wyzwań.
I want you to discombobulate it. Destroy the statue quickly enough, and I'll give you a shot at hapless harm. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Unyielding stone meets the press of time.
Najlepiej z broni walić.
You're going.
I gotowe.
Excellent work. You have bested time itself in destroying that statue. No mean feat, I assure you. Be sure to return when you're ready.
Czasami można też pogadać tutaj z widzami.
That last one was a win for you, was it? Most new qualifiers don't progress like you. You're not making me any money.
Stawia przeciwko mnie.
I was right there watching. You're gonna tear through the qualifiers.
A on stawia na mnie. Zabawne.
I hear the debates are particularly lively in the scholars. Have you heard those ridiculous rumors about ghosts walking?
To nie plotki. Oczywiście z tamtą inną Wima też można porozmawiać, ale rzadko mi się udaje. Dobra.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What? I think you're ready to face hapless Han. Show me you're ready for the big time and I'll make sure you don't have to dance with the children anymore. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Can Silver Phoenix surpass Hapless Han and leave the qualifying division?
Trochę wytrzymały, ale groźny jak mucha owocówka.
You dealt with Han very well. I knew you would. All of our professional fighters move past him eventually.
Kui, that will be enough. I bring you a message from my employer, Kai Lan the Serpent. He is impressed with how far you have come in such a short while. The Serpent wants you to know that he is watching your progress very closely. He is most interested to see how you fare in the Bronze Division. Kui, you may breathe again. That is all I had to say.
Well, that was good, I think. Lucky Cho is a thug, pure and simple, but he's very good at what he does. He's also a member of the Guild and reports directly to Kai Lan. Kai Lan oversees things here in the arena, and the Guild ensures that the authorities leave us in peace. He has a distinct interest in the proceedings here. He is the next champion, you see. He retired some time ago, even before Raging Ox, who was the champion before the Ravager. Kai Lan couldn't leave the arena alone, though. He has become a very important man here with the help of a group called the Guild. The Guild is the organization that controls all of the betting in this place. That gives them considerable sway. It is good that they are happy with your progress. Between us, the Guild is also involved in more illicit activities. They are very sensitive about remaining an open secret. Many know about them, but few acknowledge that fact. Right now is a particularly dangerous time, as one of the leaders of the Guild has recently been inhumed.
Ciekawe kto.
Do not discuss them openly. The Guild has many ears. You may ask some of the others in the arena about them if you wish, but I would not bring it up to just anyone. A wise decision. Very wise. For the sake of your career, I suggest that you limit any questions you have to your fellow fighters.
Well done! That fight was much better than this wine. With all the pure water pouring from the palace, you'd think they might have learned how to make wine that didn't taste like goat piss.
Black Whirlwind, that is you. Are you back to...
No, just here visiting, and making sure nothing happens to your newest fighter.
So you won't be...
No, leave it alone, Kui. You know better than to bring this up. Just mind your business, promoter, and I'll mind mine.
Widać tutaj walczył.
You travel in curious company. Regardless, when you're ready, come talk to me again and we'll discuss your next match. I know him, yes, but I know better than to contravigate his wishes. If you want to talk about it, ask him.
On nam też niewiele powie.
What do you need?
Na razie.
Do not be gone too long. Kana may well rise to become the Silver Division champion while you're away.
Boy, that sure was something. Well, I wouldn't have wanted to be me out there, except that I was. But I learned so much from facing you. Next time I should try some of that fancy stuff you do. I'm not exactly sure how you did it, though. You know, that's a good idea. I tend to focus on myself more than others. Perhaps I can learn some new tricks. Thanks for the encouragement.
A co tam? Doradzaliśmy naszym kolegom. No, byłem już niestety, ale...
All the contestants know about the guild. They are the real power here. Keep your voice low. We don't want Lucky Cho to hear us talking about this. I don't know about the guild itself, but around here the man in charge is named Kai Lan the Serpent. He's a powerful magician and incredibly deadly in battle. Retired Imperial champion, in fact. I never have to deal with Kai Lan. I'm not good enough to compete with the big players, so he isn't interested in me. I prefer it that way.
No to można się domyśleć, że on celowo przegrywa.
I've heard from some of the others that they sometimes ask fighters to throw matches, or worse. It may not actually be that bad, but I always advise new fighters to be careful, just in case. It's not that open, but Lucky Cho and Kai Lan don't bother to hide their actions much. I wonder if the rest of the guild appreciates them being that open. As to why the Empire tolerates them, I know of at least one promising fighter who went off to join the Lotus Assassins not too long ago. It was like they recruited him after seeing what he could do here. Maybe there's some arrangement that makes the Lotus Assassins overlook this place. It's always nice of you to stop by and chat. A lot of people who move past me in the arena never look back.
You look a shade better than the usual cowardly dogs we get through here. Just a shade, though. So you've earned the right to talk to me. Lucky you.
Bravo.
Iron Soldier's the name, though everyone just calls me Soldier. You may as well do the same. You ground the hapless one beneath your feet like everyone else does, huh? Han's pathetic for wasting time on the hopefuls, if you ask me. Then again, watching Han stumble to Dr. On every time he tries to handle the real Bronze Division fights is one of the most entertaining things about this place.
Sobie grawi.
Given half the chance, yes. If you can't handle it, you don't need to talk to me. There's some people who call the way I operate walking the low path, but they're fools. Good. Go.
Spróbuję teraz. Nie?
I hear the debates are particular.
Też nie.
I hear the debates are particularly lively in the Scholars' Garden lately.
I was right there watching. Hapless On never defeats the truth.
Albo może nie chce.
That last one was a win for you, was it? Who would have thought that Hapless Han would lose? At least not like that.
Zamiast postawić na mnie pieniądze, to stawił przeciwko mnie. Dobra. Nagram właśnie do niej.
Uktatasier ni Ryoki, ka sisayer na work a wukategi. Uksier wa tuafu ni ye froto usosoyer uktatasier ni Ryoki. Kwawir uyu itarir noka sisayer na workut wo nisir wir noka takuna fifir. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na wafta tasieruk. Kitir nonni nikuyo ipierta. Wo panaro wosawir tatasi ni wasunir prawun. Wosawir kokonatoi.
O, to głos straciłem.
Wo
A.
je
A w sumie jeszcze spróbuję z nim, chociaż wątpię.
You are the unstoppable force that left poor Han a cluttered pile of optimistic wreckage at the side of the arena.
Dziwne.
I'm sure he will bounce back as fresh as ever, though. He always does. We can tell you to be careful whom you ask about such things. Secrets kept in the open are the most sensitive.
The serpent who dwells in the shadows of this place. Like an air spirit, he is everywhere and yet invisible to the eye.
Brother Sui puts it well. Kailan the Serpent is the guild's will in this place, powerful enough that only the brave or foolish discuss him at any length. Besides running the most expansive betting operation in the Empire, I speculate that they do much more than that, but we have been smart enough not to find out. We question things in the arena, though. For example, why are we allowed to fight as one body when the rules suggest such a thing should be illegal? The guild cares more for a good show than fair play. Good shows keep the bet money flowing, especially if a favored fighter were to suddenly and surprisingly lose.
I agree. I don't want them around anymore. They scare me.
If you let fear guide your decisions, Brother Boo, you will find that you have walked the coward's path.
Philosophy aside, the Empire certainly could wipe them out. But wouldn't another similar organization appear? Regardless, if something could be done, the Empire would have done it already.
Tak. Można tak powiedzieć o nich jedno.
Oh yes, we...
A zaraz. Ten jest taki troszkę głupkowaty, ten jest normalny, a ten jest... No powiedzmy, że ma rozum większy od głowy. O, i znowu nie ma.
You have earned the right to ask about your peers. Would you like to know about Soldier, or our current champion, the Ravager? It seems unfair, does it not? However, you must ask yourself if you wish to be beheaded instantly when you consider this topic. Let us put it this way. Individually, each of us is an excellent warrior, fast, strong, or smart as it may be. When we faced the Ravager individually, he beat us quite handily. Word spread that the Ravager boasted that he could beat all of us together. And so we accepted.
I pokonał.
He was victorious. Those who guide this arena were so pleased with the spectacle that they created a new challenge. Us. The thought was that anyone who couldn't defeat the brothers Sung would be obliterated by the Ravager. I'm sure we have saved more than a few lives.
Oj, zgadzam.
I prefer not to give that impression, but we have been placed in this situation by the Ravager, whose deadly nature requires our presence. In time, perhaps, that will change. We will see. Would you like to know about Soldier, or our... Ah,